right, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yashimai from the Jet Master Atlanta camp. All praises, all glory, all honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who move and teach well. This is going to be a response video onto what's going on here. So, the first video shown here was a news conference here where this man is being asked about, the Epstein client list. All right. And, this was something that when, the Orange Man ran on his campaign again the second time, he said that he would release the Epstein files. He said he was going to show us about the JFK files, supposedly, or show America, not us. Okay, because we're not included. We are apart from this world. So, Salakia. He was going to show the Egyptians about the client list, and now look at him. He's downplaying the very promise that he told his Edomite people, man, and 2/3 also. And so the very next video is this guy here, Alex Jones. This is the last hope for these hardcore Edomites that want their country to continue. And what's this guy saying? He's telling you Trump has sold out. But this is the crux of it, the crux of the matter. And yeah, that's a big word. Well, that's a nice word there, but the crux of this matter, because you always hear people use that word. But the crux of the matter here is that even though this man's crying, he's crying about your Trump being sold out, which is an eye opener as to these Edomites and to how they are. What's the very next thing he says? After he admits that Trump has sold out, the very next thing he says is, but it's all the leftist fault. And we all want and I just want this country to continue to go on. It just shows you, man. These people think they can't, they're completely wicked. These people upheld this man Trump for 4 years on his first term, 4 years during the Biden term, say about 8 or 9 years when you include the run up to the elections. These people held up this orange hope, and yet they got played the fool. But then what does he do? Oh, but it's still the leftist part. When will you people understand? When will 2/3 of our people? No, well, I know the answer to that is they won't. But when will our people that need to finally wake up? When will they finally understand that it's not a left issue? It's not a right issue. It is literally a bloodline issue, and that issue goes to these Edomites, man. So let's go ahead and get into some scripture. The first one is Isaiah 19 verse 4. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord." Okay, so 2 points here. The Egyptians we know are the Americans, according to Revelations 11 verse 8. All right, and then and then the second point here. Well, I'll say it because I mentioned it. The second point here is that it says into the hand of a cruel Lord, which shows you that Yahweh's name is not Lord or God, because that's just the title. Because everyone knows that this scripture is talking about a master. All right, so that's just a quick side point here. But these Egyptians, these Americans, have been given over to the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the Lord of hosts. Right, the power of hosts, man. And that's host goes into armies. But not only have the Americans, have these Edomites been given over to this cruel Lord, man, but those that dwell in Egypt, which include us, and our people, we also have been given over, because is this not part of the curses? That we would be the tail, and that we would be tossed to and fro, right? But I mean, these people have been given over to people that just don't give a crap about you, man. And that's why, you know what, when we see these things, we for us that are in the truth, it's like, wow. It's like, it's very obvious, man. It's very obvious to us. But for those like, Alex Jones, or for, people that, hell, you had the Northern Kingdom. How many Cubans have we seen that got deported, that voted for Trump? What more do you need? This is that cruel king, man. This is that cruel Lord. I want to get that word, cruel, and that word is kasha, and that is hard, difficult, severe, fierce, intense, stubborn, rigorous, and that's exactly what this man has done. Can you believe that at the time that this message is going up, can you believe this man has only been in office for 5 months? And he's got a 4-year term to do. Can you freaking believe that? He just got sworn in on January. It's July. What is that? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 6 months. He's only been in office for 6 months. And he's got 4 more years. And what has he done? He's freaking put the Northern Kingdom through the ringer. He's passed that big, beautiful bill, that bullshit bill, the big bullshit bill. And it's only been 6 months. This is that fierce Lord, man. Because at a time when the cost of food is so high, at that time, what's his focus? His focus isn't to get it down. His focus is not to get the cost of food down for these people, man. His focus is to continue to come at his brother. Let's get here. Let's get Genesis 27:41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Now we have to remember, Esau are the self-proclaimed whites, and they are a nation. That the same hatred that Esau had at this time is the same hatred that these people have for the nation of Israel, man. They hate you. These people are starving to death. They can't afford to put gas in their vehicles. All right? You have a pedo, just like Jeffrey Epstein. He's got so much going on, but what's he focused on? He's focused on tearing you motherfuckers down, man. And I say motherfuckers because I'm talking about the 2/3, man. All you guys, excuse my Croatian, man. But, hey, for those, our people, you need to feel this, man. And this isn't even, the worst of it, because when you go into 2 Ezra 9, it says that you're going to feel this after death by pain. And, that's going into the thermonuclear destruction coming to this place. All right, let's get the next scripture here. I just got three precepts. This is Sirach 12:10-13. Okay, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. And that's what a lot of our people have done. They thought that this orange man was going to get this place back, America back on the right track. And to this day, I just saw a news report a couple days back saying that like 50% or 60% of this world, of this country, approves the way that Trump has been doing things. Okay, all you've done is you've aligned yourself with the wicked, because if you can't see that this man hates you, right, when his focus is to attack you while his country is slipping from the grips of his hands, then you're just meant to be destroyed. At this point, you are just a useless eater. All right, because we're not supposed to trust him, because we know the hatred that he has. Look at what Trump did to his own people, man. He lied to them the entire way. If he's not true to his own people, which that goes back to the wars of the Diadochi. After Alexander the Great fell, his own generals started killing themselves. If these people don't honor themselves, what are you thinking? As a so-called black, Hispanic, or native, what are you thinking that you can trust him, that somehow he's going to help you out, man. Scripture's telling you to not trust your enemy. All right, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. All right, and we can look back at history. Look at when the French came into Canada, and Gad tried to help them out. The French, these Edomites, man, they couldn't survive in the winter. I think they arrived with like 3,000 or 30,000 people, and then after like 6 months or a year, that number had dwindled down to like 30 or 300. I mean, why? Because they couldn't survive. And what did they do? They crouched, they humbled down, and the so-called Native Americans helped them out. And then look, it led to the Trail of Tears, man. So history shows us that we can't trust this man, even when he's crouching down. What's that video that comes to mind is one of the Planet of the Apes, where the guy's on the ocean and he says, don't trust this man. He's a destroyer of worlds. Anyway, even when he's in handcuffs, he's plotting on you, man. Even when his country's slipping, he's plotting on you, man. Don't trust this man. This should be a good eye-opener for everyone, that you cannot trust any Edomite. You cannot trust any Edomite. And I must go back to this jackass, because even after he posted this video, do you know what he did? The very next day, he said, oh, actually, I got it figured out. Actually, Trump didn't release the Epstein files because he's basically using it to blackmail the deep state. And he's basically saying he's not going to release it, and now he's going to make the deep state do what he wants. Like, I kid you not. Look it up. But that in itself is a lie, because what's another thing that Trump's doing? He's sending more weapons to Ukraine. But didn't he campaign on stopping the war? And didn't he meet with Zelensky and tell him that he needs to make a deal and that America was done? But now he's sending more weapons. Matter of fact, I'll get that article. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's get Trump send arms to Ukraine. Says Trump pledges to send more weapons to Ukraine 14 hours ago. All right. I mean, Trump sharply criticizes Putin, announces weapons will go to Ukraine. This guy campaigned against it. What more do you people need to see? Everything that he told you he wasn't going to do, he's done. And everything he told you he was going to do, he hasn't done. Never trust thine enemy. That's why these people have to get taken out. They are an invasive species. Salakia for being long-winded. I'm going to continue on. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Because, let's go ahead and get that scripture. Habakkuk 2, Habakkuk 2 and 5? No, 2 and, 2 and 4, Salakia says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. All right, his soul is not upright in him, man. Even when he's even when he is in a low position and tells you, I'm going to help you out, which is what Trump did, his soul is not upright in him. And that's what that scripture is going into. And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. He's Mr. Can't Get Right. All right, verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, because he will overthrow you. He's got the weapon of the sword. You know, he is the basis of men mentioned in Daniel 4 and 17 that was set over to rule over us. It says, when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Has he not stood up in our place? Has he not told you that he's us? You know, he's stolen our identity and created the biggest fraud. While yet, you know, when our people try to get on food stamps, you know, they can't even get that, or our people go to jail, you know, for fudging a small lie on some paperwork. But yet he's creating the biggest fraud there is. He's stolen our identity, man. He oppresses a man, even his heritage, man. It says, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. You know, and this is something that we can live our lives by. Don't put any Edomite at your right hand. Don't put any Edomite at a position of power near you, if at all possible. All right? Lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou, at the last, remember my words, and be pricked therewith. All right? And that's what we're telling our people, man. Don't trust this man. That's why these messages are going on. So that hopefully the veil is torn. And you can see this bastard for who he is, because Scripture says that he would make Esau bare. Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is making this man bare. But if you can't see it, if you don't want to open your eyes to it, hey, he can't do any more to you. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but if you don't want to drink, then starve your fucking ass to death. And you know what? That's exactly what's coming. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16 goes into that. All right? It says, and thou at the last remember my words. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. All right? When it's only been 6 months, we still have 3.5 more years to go. Whew, wow. Then you will remember these words, man. Verse 13, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come near wild beast? And what's this go into? Who feels sorry for a snake charmer when he gets bit by a snake? Nobody does. Why? How many times have we seen videos where people get attacked by wild animals? Like, it happens all the time when these Edomites or these other heathens go to Yosemite Park, and they get close to these buffaloes to try to pet them, and then they get gored. What's everyone's natural reaction? What a fucking idiot. That's what you get. And that's what this scripture's going into. Who will pity a charmer? So these people are those charmers. 2/3 of our people and everybody else, trying to charm the serpent, the snake, Esau, Edom, Genesis 3. All you people trying to charm the snake and trying to be like, trying to show them that you're unacceptable, Jake. Hey, when you get bit, nobody's going to feel sorry for you, man. You guys need to hear. Our people need to heed unto these words, man. And again, I'm going to end it off by saying that's why all these wicked Edomites have to go. Because they've shown you time and time and again that they cannot be trusted. They tell you something, they campaign on something, and they do the complete opposite. Their house, their country is burning to the ground. And what's he doing? He's not even reaching the fire extinguisher to try to put his house out, his house fire out. He's trying to kill your ass while he's going down. He's trying to put you in a concentration camp while he was going down. That's why these people have to be taken out. And that's why Scripture tells us that. Psalms 149 verse 6, let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. That the judgment of the wicked is for them to be put in fetters of iron, and Esau to be ultimately destroyed. As mentioned in Obadiah, his seed is spoiled. Okay? And why did Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai write that judgment? Because before this article came out, before these videos came out, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, in all his wisdom, knew who this bastard was and knew that he would not be able to be trusted. And for that reason, the very same, before he created him, he had already decreed the judgment to destroy this bastard. But why is he here? Because we went off. Jeremiah 17 and 4, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, the falling away. You can't trust this man. May this serve as a announcement to those that need more proof of who the wicked is. These people can't be saved until the next one. Shalom.